What is up, everybody? My name is Deanna Jackson. I'm executive producer of Geeks Around. Hope you all are having a fantastic day. We are, of course, here to discuss the mid-season finale for The Walking Dead. This was a fairly decent episode, but we're going to have some things to say. So first, let's introduce the rest of the panel. Of course, joining me, as always, our producer and lead host, Matt Moore. How's it going, man?
I'm doing pretty well for a mid-season finale, however, which is normally the better of the finales for Walking Dead. This was very meh.
Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with that. Associate host Todd Grundle, what did you think of it?
Oh, you guys are gonna hear, all three of you, Matt, and Isaiah, are gonna hear it real soon. What I think about your mess, your mess.
Oh, here we go. Community manager Knuckles Goldberg. How about you? What were your thoughts on this one?
Oh, and another one. Another target.
Charles Wheaton, come on.
I thought it was
give
okay.
Todd some back up here.
Oh, yeah, I'm actually along with Todd on this. I thought it was a freaking awesome episode. I'm still somewhat speechless. I mean, my hands are still kind of shaking. I got nothing.
Isaiah, we know you hate everything, so go ahead.
Okay, folks. I mean, overall, this episode, like Deanna and everyone else said, like, meh. And Deanna was right, folks. It's going to be a disappointing episode, which it kind of was.
It was not.
Yeah, I said it last week, and it came to pass. This episode disappointed me.
Isaiah Logic. There you go. Me and him.
Blue Rod, how about you, man?
All I can say was, oh, shit.
All right, well, before we even get started into the actual discussion, I want to take this opportunity to give a big fuck you to whatever morons are running The Walking Dead's Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter accounts. You fucking assholes. These sons of motherfucking bitches. Y'all know what these assholes did?
Yeah, we heard about it.
I'm over here on the West Coast. Yeah, it's like the second the show was done airing on the East Coast, these motherfuckers across all their social media accounts, except for Google+, you guys are cool. You guys didn't do this shit. But everywhere else, they immediately posted the spoiler that Beth died. Immediately. Motherfuckers, trying to watch it legally, we're not, just had it spoiled. Just going on their feeds and shit and have it spoiled. Now, I can deal with spoilers when they come from, like, just some random asshole or whatever, but when it comes from the official fucking page for the thing, that's just a big fuck you to the fans. And you know what? No, fuck me. No, fuck you. Fuck all y'all. Bunch of fucking idiots.
Wow, he's copying mine.
I have to agree. If you get a random spoiler from random asshole, you just block that random asshole and never have to worry about it again. But are we supposed to just block the AMC fan pages?
Yeah.
And the Walking Dead fan
Yes.
pages?
Well, now, yes.
Yeah, apparently.
Yes,
That's exactly what the fuck I did. It's like, get the shit out. It's like, I'm not liking your page. I'm not following you or doing any of that shit. Nope. Fuck off. Because I was so pissed off. So fucking pissed off. It's like this big moment. It's like, I have no idea what it would have been like to watch that whole scene if I wouldn't have very directly known it was coming.
Right, I understand.
It had to be crazy because I knew for like maybe 4 weeks now because it was spoiled, but I didn't know exactly how, and I was just when that moment came, I didn't think it was going to happen, even knowing this whole time, or at least possibly knowing, and it freaking shocked me.
Well, for me, it was kind of the circumstances around it, I guess, were a bit surprising because I don't understand exactly what Beth was trying to do.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, Dawn here, it's like, I mean, popping Beth in the head, that was self-defense. She stabbed her.
Well, to be fair, that was an accident. That was a complete accident. It just went off.
It wasn't an accident. You don't accidentally take the pair of scissors you have hidden in your cast out and then plunge it into somebody's chest.
The thing that I thought was weird about how Beth was shot, it's like she stabbed Dawn, yes, and Dawn shooting her is self-defense, even though it still pissed off Beth's group, and I was expecting them to slaughter all the cops. But the thing is that the way that Beth was shot, having the bullet go up here, out the top of the head, I would have thought that the gun was still in the holster. how would somebody be able? I mean,
Thank
how
you.
would she be? How would she be able to pull out the gun without being seen? Because Rick and his team were looking right at her.
I think it was involuntary. She already had it out, and when she got stabbed, it just went off.
That's what I think too.
Cop training, from what I know, they don't pull out the gun unless there is an imminent threat, and an imminent clear threat. And
yeah, an imminent threat like a bunch of people you don't know standing in front of you with fully automatic weapons.
Yeah.
Right, and it was instant. And it was instant. The second she was stabbed, that's when the gun went off. That's why I think it was involuntary.
Again, I'm just going Don's defense though, because it was a natural reaction. It was just a natural reflex.
I just want to know how she was able to pull out the gun without somebody seeing.
Well, to me, it was like
everyone had their guns up.
To me, it happened so fast.
She said holster.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody had
holstered their weapons when they entered the hallway.
But honestly, it's like, I mean, if you have the correct training, it really does not take a lot of time to draw a weapon out of a holster, aim, and shoot it.
It's reflexes, really. Reflexes.
Yeah, I can do that. That wouldn't even be hard.
Well, that's Deanna. He can do it.
You would be able to see the arm movements, like lift up the gun, pull that. No matter how quick, you would still see the arm move, and I did not see anything.
That's true. That's unless you had someone standing. Like, okay, it's like I see what you're saying. You're saying the rest of everyone else should have been able to see that. You forget that Beth was standing directly in between them.
You couldn't see it though.
So it's like, I mean, while if Beth wasn't standing right in front of her, yes, the arm movement would have been very obvious. But since nobody has the ability to see through people, I'm thinking I mean. My girlfriend always seems to think she's made of glass. She's always standing in front of the television when I'm trying to watch it. So it's like, I mean, I know that's her perception, but in reality, turns out we actually can't see through people.
Exactly. We don't have that. No, we don't.
The only issue with that one scene was, why didn't Beth just stab her in the fucking neck?
Right. That made no sense.
Like, fake give her a hug and just jab her ass in the neck.
I think the whole mess was fucked anyway. Yeah. Because, I mean, when, like, let's say that Beth did stab Dawn in the neck, okay?
Best case scenario, massive shootout.
Exactly. Right. Yes, it would be a slaughter. I mean, way more people would die on both sides.
Yeah, but
well, that's what good television is.
However, it was one big issue behind that whole scene itself, because we saw a lot of character development with Dawn and Beth, but out of nowhere, she tried to change her mind. Like, if she killed the doctor, that's one thing, but she got after Dawn, it's like, okay, because it was just really confusing at times, because then we get this backstory behind these other cops. Yes, it was there, but we didn't spend enough time with the cops, because I felt like it was rushed content, really.
She killed Beth because, I mean, she killed Dawn for the simple fact that she made the stupid comment that I knew he would be back. They always come back. That's
it
what
was passion.
Her to make the stab.
Well, yeah, I get that, but here's my problem. That was really fucking stupid.
It was stupid. That's what passion does. Passion makes you do stupid shit.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. It's like, I'm not sitting here claiming it was unrealistic or anything like that. It's like, don't get me wrong. That's not my argument. My argument is just, oh dear God, that was fucking retarded.
I agree.
That could have gotten everybody killed. Everybody. So I'm just amazed that she would do that. As like, I mean, just no matter how I get being passionate and anger and whatnot. Bring a knife to a gunfight is one thing. She brought a little tiny fucking pair of scissors. Okay, how exactly did she think that was going to work out?
Well, she stabbed in the wrong part. She should have went for the neck or an eyeball.
But I mean, even
if she right here, it's like, I mean, come on, it's like, honestly, coming from someone that actually has been stabbed, although not right here. But this is the point with the little tiny pair of scissors, you won't even really feel it. I mean, you'll know it's there and it'll suck, but that's kind of the extent of it. It doesn't actually do anything.
She's wearing a bulletproof vest?
I guess not. I'm just like that. This was like the one thing is like I took away from this episode in general. It was just so dumb. It's like there's just no circumstance in which this would have been a good idea. None. I can't understand it.
I went back and rewatched it, and yeah, she did not have her gun out when Beth walked up to her. but it was still instant when she got stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll be goddamn. That's some good reaction time.
I guess.
It might be like too quick because, like I said before, it happened too fast. It was basically immediate.
Well, that's why it was an oh shit moment.
Yeah, I mean, it would be immediate if the gun was already out, but from what I saw, I think the gun was still holstered, and that's why I had a problem with it.
Honestly, it's like, I mean, this circumstance, I'm honestly going to chalk that up to bad editing.
Okay.
That's honestly what I'm going to do.
I'm imagining something got cut out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, it is possible to draw and do that fast, but you would have to be insanely quick.
Well, either she was
like a professional
quick,
gunslinger,
or Rick and all them just weren't really mindful to the fact that she was going to pull something Beth was going to pull something. So they were just all thinking normal shit. Like, we're about to get out of here, okay, whatever. You want Noah, you can keep him. It's his decision to stay.
Yeah, which they almost did. They were almost home free before this damn shit happened. So far, Antonio, one of our viewers, he's agreeing with everything that we're saying so far. He's right there with us.
Moving on from Beth and everything and what happened to Dawn right after she killed Beth. Yeah, I'm pretty much happy that happened. That
Really?
Dawn got this massive gaping hole in her forehead.
No.
I was very, very pleased with that because, like I said...
I like that Daryl did it.
Well, yeah, I know. But like I said, when Dawn was first introduced, I'm like, yeah, I want this bitch dead. Because she was making me so uncomfortable in that episode. And I'm like, oh, come on. And now that I see Dawn was dead, I'm like, okay.
Wait a second. She's not the one that made you uncomfortable in that episode. It's that other dude.
It was everything that was going on. It wasn't just Gorman. It was everything. I mean, the whole situation was
uncomfortable. There's a big.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, you have in this episode, it's like, so basically, the person that wanted to stop all this madness from happening, to stop all the rape and stop all the madness, is now dead.
It's kind of stupid.
Yay, victory!
Right.
Well, no, it's just I didn't really like her, how she was treating Beth, beating her and all that kind of stuff. That was really freaking
How she treats everybody. Just walks by old men being pushed down. She was a terrible monster. She was the equivalent of a Nazi stormtrooper.
No. That's actually wrong, though.
And then giving Beth the keys so she could get medicine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that horrible fucking bitch.
And
That's
also,
all
Saving her from
manipulation.
that other copper just then who was trying to expose her. Yeah. She is a complete and total monster. She totally deserves
right.
How dare her trying to help
said,
Beth?
like the doctor said, that she would not do that in the kindness of her heart, that she had a hidden agenda.
Coming from the doctor, that doesn't mean anything.
The doctor lied about everything.
That doctor is the most manipulative son of a bitch in this entire place.
Right.
So I see what's going on here. I'm being turned into Isaiah, how he felt about Bob.
You're taking the word of someone who tried to kill another doctor just so that he could remain useful.
Thank you. You see what I mean?
Like I said, the whole situation was fucked.
No, the whole situation was
Wait,
fucked
let me say something about that other doctor and why he's credible. Because his action of killing that other doctor was him having no other choice. What this fucking bitch did, she had many, many other choices. And he was amongst animals. He was amongst predators, sharks. He had no other choice. They
Wait a
were the
minute,
enemy.
that's unfair though. That's really unfair. Because Dawn was, you can say something about Dawn too. She was around by more powerful, more dominant male officers. She's the only, so far we haven't seen a female officer. And controlling all those type of males officers.
You mean other than the one that was kidnapped?
Exactly. I was about to point that out.
Thank you. Anyways, fuck.
And then the other one there that signed out the negotiations after Dawn died.
I want to say one thing. The doctor killed that other doctor because he had no choice. But however, wait. Dawn had plenty of choices, and she always ended up making the wrong choice.
She did too.
All right. You guys have been bickering for a little while.
Wait a second, Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
I've got a point. Dawn fucking explains why she slapped Beth in this episode. She explained it. No one saw it. and that is that you don't need people to like you. You need people to respect you.
Oh.
That is why she slept on. That is how she keeps control of the hospital.
But she still
through
had no
actions
control.
like that. People fear her. People respect her. That's how she gets control, and that's how she keeps these people alive.
Which
She
makes
had
her
no control.
tyrant.
If you had control, you wouldn't have officers raping other
No.
people.
She let
She had no control. I've worked in a management position where if you don't have control of the crew, they will walk all over you. Her officers walked all over her. If you were raping somebody, she could have got with other officers who were still good and pure and exiled them. You can do it. But she was too much of a pussy, and she wanted to be liked as much as respected.
Exactly, like that guy Bob.
One.
Bob would have joined her. What about that girl who seemed to take charge in the end and say, no, everybody hold fire? She probably would have joined up with Dawn. You know what I mean? Like,
Dawn put herself in a position where she was never going to come out victorious.
But
you want to initiate fear. You initiate fear by setting examples.
Well, that fear was not examples. The fear was not example. She had no fear in her bones. If you could, again,
she shouldn't have been in charge.
That one officer who was crooked as hell. Yeah, he had more power than her. Everyone had more power than her. She was just pretty much. She was like a symbol of like stability. When I was pretty much gone, it was nothing. It was not. She was nobody. So
I'll agree she was a symbol, but symbols are symbols for a reason. You know what I mean?
Look at how Rick leads. When Rick needs to be tough, he's tough. When he needs to be sympathetic, he's sympathetic. Dawn had neither trait.
Oh, can we get Rick's
out of Rick's book?
No one's claiming that Dawn was the poster child for how leadership should be done.
Right, she's not the
governor. No one's making that claim.
Nothing like that.
But it's like I will submit. Go ahead, Knuckles.
She wasn't eating people, at least.
Yeah. I will submit that Dawn was doing what she thought she had to do.
Right, I agree with Deanna too. She had to do
I'm not going to say it was right. I'm not going to say that it was good. I'm not going to say she didn't have other options.
Right.
She did what she felt that she had to. That's where I'm coming from.
Okay, right. I'll give you that, but she did it in a totally fucked up way.
Yeah.
I understand. I agree with that too, Leroy. But in case of survival, you pretty much have to look the other way. So you can survive, so everyone else can survive. It's just
now it's like as we're talking about people that are doing things completely the wrong way. Let's go ahead and break from this and talk about Father Dipshit.
Oh,
damn! Thank you.
Fuck him.
I wanted to say something about that little bastard. Look. I am a respectful person when it comes to people of the cloth. I mean, I'm not religious in any way, but I do know enough to be able to respect a priest and all that. But that priest needed to die. That guy needed to go away.
He was the only black guy who needed to die.
Fuck away.
I'll say straight up, it's like when this nigga came back and he was banging on the door, let me in.
Oh no,
you're the asshole that went out there. Fuck you. You can stay out there.
He was messing up everything, his fences and everything else. Like, dude, just die somewhere. Just die. I don't care about you.
Because this is something that I wanted to point out. It's like, okay, yeah, he crawls underneath the church, goes out, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I don't know where you're gonna go. I don't really care, so fuck off. But
nobody noticed too. Nobody noticed.
And then in this episode, we see him go to the school where Bob had his leg cut off. And he sees he says that he wanted to go out there to see what was going on, to actually know what the hell was going on, which I still think is bullshit. But then when those zombies burst through the door and everything, first thing he did, went right back to the church.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't fucking do that. Yeah. You lead the zombies away until you lose them, then you go back to the church.
Have you not seen Shaun of the Dead? Has he not seen that?
The guy's not thinking straight.
I
don't care. It's like not thinking straight. It's like, I mean, this motherfucker put everyone else in danger. It's like, I will give props to Michonne for bothering to let that asshole back in.
Right. No, I don't.
No way in hell I would have done it.
She had to.
We were having this conversation. We were having this conversation during the episode while we were watching it last night. Is let me in. Motherfucker, you were in the next room. I don't know who the fuck it is outside my door, but last time I looked, you were in the next room. So as far as I'm concerned, you're in the next room. Fuck the guy outside the door.
No. What I would have done? What I would have done is I would have opened the door. I would have grabbed his shirt and then pushed him into the walkers. That's what I would have done.
I wouldn't have even done that because opening the door would have been having to take down like the barriers they had.
The barriers.
Chop that shit down. I wouldn't have been chopping shit.
No, I was
like you. It's like you got your dumb ass out there. You can either figure out a way to get your dumb ass back in, or you can die out there. Those are your options.
Right.
I am not opening this fucking door.
That's what makes our characters, the main cast, that they are the picture of humanity. They are what, the last good people out there.
That's hard
to say. The picture of I'm not going to protect stupid people from themselves.
Yeah, what about Eugene? Eugene needs to die, but no.
Eugene, I think that we're still going to have some use left out of Eugene, even if it's just something to poke a stick with and laugh at it. But I mean, Eugene has more uses than Gabriel currently.
Gabriel's problem was when he crawled underneath in the last episode and stuck himself with that fucking nail on the floor. His dumb ass should have known right there. Okay, I'm hurt. I'm gonna be useless if I have to run.
Right. And plus,
crawled my happy ass back up into the way I went out. When the rest of the crew comes, I'm gonna be like, "Can we please take a field trip? Because I need some clarification to why y'all slaughtered the hell out of these people."
Right. And plus, he crawled into the hole. Why can't he go back in the hole? Like, okay, you couldn't go back in the hole? Really?
You're too stupid to realize that.
Really? Oh my God, dude. You didn't have no planning whatsoever. Good Lord.
You know what, you guys are making me realize that maybe this is all intentional because what we're seeing is actions of irrationality. Beth does something extremely irrational. Gabriel is extremely irrational.
Gabriel's just a fucking idiot.
Right now, where it's at the
I think calling him an idiot is a bit too generous.
Yeah, it is too generous.
Yeah.
Well, what would you like me to call him? A dumb, stupid fuck?
No,
my permanent name for him at this point is like I said at the beginning of this, Father Dipshit. That's his name.
That works.
I will never refer to him as anything except Father Dipshit.
Yeah, he's just useless. No, I'll call him Father Useless.
He lost his father title by walking out that church.
That's true too.
Oh man, I bet God is somewhere out in the clouds, going like, "Oh God, why did you do that?"
Right. But I don't know. I mean, again, I wish this episode was good, but it was just big old meh because we got to deal with the father nonsense, and then this more dialogue and story with the cops, and now the big bang, which is Beth's death, is like that was completely pointless. It just the impact was not strong enough to me. It was like,
well, it was strong enough when we saw Maggie's reaction to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Who cares?
She
Who
fell
cares? We didn't see it at all.
to the ground and she started screaming. Yeah.
So
Beth, I'm sorry,
look at it like this. She is the only member of her family left. There is nobody else. Her dad is dead. Her sister is dead. Her other siblings are dead. Her whole family is dead. She's all that's left. So even though she has Glenn, beyond that, she's alone.
Well, again, you brought Maggie's family, which is a good point to actually talk about. Because Beth's death, and compared to Herschel's death, I know it's unfair, but just look at how it all played out. We didn't want to believe Herschel was going to die, but he died, and we all felt that big, like, oh no! When Beth died, it was like, oh my God, because you know why? Because the episode was so boring, we didn't see that coming. So, it was a good episode.
I will agree with you on that. Yes, it's a shocker. I'm agreeing with Isaiah. But I do agree with you on that, is that Herschel's death was far more emotional than Beth's death. But
Herschel got stuck with a goddamn
Beth's death is still emotional, just nowhere near as emotional as Herschel's
death. It's emotional. It just happened.
The thing that makes it more intense is how Maggie is going to handle Beth's death over the course of the next probably throughout the rest of the season, starting in February. I mean,
let's look at Andrea.
I mean, I just think, like I said before, I mean, she's all that's left. I mean, yeah, she has Glenn, and I don't know, maybe she's going to start a family with Glenn. I don't know. But I just think that this is going to be especially traumatizing, and it could even be damaging to her, towards her love for Glenn. Like, maybe she might distance herself from that kind of stuff, and who knows? My partial speculation right now, she may end up getting killed.
Okay, I have a really good question to ask. If Beth didn't die and it was Carol, would you guys still be sad, or you just be like, eh?
Ooh, okay. That's a tough question to answer because with the whole stuff that was going on with Carol last season, with how she killed Tyrese's girlfriend and the other guy and all that, and then she was sent away, and now during this season she is appearing to be a bit of a badass, but then there's still those things that she did that she had to do to be able to protect everybody else and all that kind of stuff. So do I think am I happy that she's alive? Yes. How it would affect me if she died? To be honest, I can't really say. The way I'm thinking about it right now, if Beth had survived and if Carol had died instead, I would actually be a little pissed that Beth didn't die because I always kind of liked Carol more than Beth. I mean, even during season 2 and then when they got to the prison and everything, I thought Beth was pointless. I didn't really care about her character that much. However, Carol, making a few mistakes along the way, she did have more of a purpose with the rest of the group, while Beth was just there as Maggie's sister. I mean, I understand that Beth was an original character to the TV show,
Well, she was in the
but
comics.
she didn't. No, Beth wasn't in the comics.
She was for a brief second. She wasn't there that long.
But I just think that if Carol had died instead, I don't know if I'd be sad, but I'd be pissed that Beth was still alive.
That's kind of unfair, though.
Beth's character was
thought
more
is
of the Good Samaritan who knew how to bring people some joy in an empty space.
Really? Okay,
was that.
because in season 2 she tried to kill herself. In season
Yeah,
2 she
but
tried to kill herself.
situation.
So
She had a reason, though.
She had good reason. The situation causes, like, really, what's the point in living in this fucked up world?
Right. I wouldn't
There's
blame
no
her.
cure in sight. Everybody around me is dying.
but killing yourself for that reason, I call it a coward's way out. I called her a coward the rest of the season because of that action. But I mean, and then of course, what was it? Season 4, where she had that whole room set up, which also got a weird part. I mean, I understand placing down roots and everything, but I didn't like it. And I don't know, just after her boyfriend died, and she said, like, oh, I don't cry anymore. Just like she said that in this episode, I'm like, what the hell?
To your question, Isaiah, I don't know how I would have reacted. Beth felt more of a significant blow. Carol would have been like, oh shit, Carol's dead. She had a good backbone to herself, so her death wouldn't have been as serious.
But the thing behind it is, what I didn't really like that death all too much is because the writers were building up so much on Beth's character and that whole hospital scene, which was really good in my book. I like that hospital scene. But now everything, when I look back on it now, it's like, this was kind of pointless. It just felt kind of pointless that we had to go through this whole notion that she just died now. Like, oh, well, that was kind of fucking pointless. So it was kind of hard to actually just say this was a good move. I just didn't really feel it was a good move because the build up for it and everything else behind it, which is so meh.
My thought on this is that this actually takes Carol off the do not kill list. I think the writers have a do not kill list. Of course, that's Carl, that's Rick, that's Daryl. That's as far as I'm concerned, that's also going to be Maggie. That's also going to be Glenn. And it was Carol. I think she's no longer on the do not kill list. I think that that this whole season has been kind of leading up towards having to save Carol. Having to save Carol is a big thing. She at least briefly is the damsel in distress, and therefore quote unquote weak. And so I think that we're on a long journey to kill Carol.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, could be.
Well, the funny death of the week was...
I hope it's Tyrese instead.
Yeah, I wish it was Tyrese.
Tyrese needs to go.
Well, it's like, no. Lerod, say what you're going to say, because I agree with you.
The best death this week was the cop.
It was Bob.
Getting hit by that
This
car
other
was
Bob.
funny as shit.
Stop! Look, oh, fuck you. You know that? Boom! Now you're stopped. Yeah, I was cracking up laughing too. I was sitting there. I was like, that happened. I turned to Matt. I was like, tell him to stop.
Like,
Part of that wasn't clear. That shit was
thinking,
hilarious.
he probably thought, if I would have stopped, I wouldn't have a broken back right now, and I'd still be alive.
Yeah.
But he was being a dumb fuck. Rick gave him multiple chances.
Yeah, exactly. It's like after all that madness last week, and there's just ending the episode with him, cracking Sasha one and then making off running, and he's dead before the fucking opening credits.
Right. Also, that scene is actually from a comic books as well, but it wasn't an RV. It was a cop car, but it was still the same premise behind it.
It was a cop car.
It was a cop car.
No, I'm talking about like it was a mirror image of the comic books itself. I don't have to explain it to you further. Because in the comic books,
was it a cop car in the comics?
No, let me explain. Be quiet. Be quiet. Thank you. Anyways, folks, so in the comic books, Rick was chasing down this one guy from Woodbury. It was the RV, Dale's RV, which was still operational. Strange. And he ran him down. And he was still alive until Rick killed him. This is the same premise right here, but different situation and different person and different vehicle, which was a cop car.
Regardless, it was still funny.
Yeah, that's true too, because it was funny in comic books as well. He was broken down, and poor Hydra agent Bob, he didn't make it. Poor Hydra.
It seems to be Bobs don't make it far.
No,
I guess. And well, it's like, I mean, this one's interesting. How was it that the white Bob lasted for a less period of time than Black Bob did?
Right.
Black Bob was at least alive for a while. White Bob,
a whole
like he was introduced last week, and that motherfucker's dead.
Right.
Quickly. And it easily is the absolute funniest death in Walking Dead that I've seen. Because this shit was hilarious.
It was funny. Like, Rick, I mean, it was so strange too. Rick was going like superhuman speed. Like, what in the what? How'd he go so fast? He's not superhuman. He's like human.
He wasn't speeding at first. He was trying to get him to stop. It's like, just, hey, stop.
No.
It's like,
wait,
what kind of a word? It's like, okay, dude, okay. You're bound with your hands behind your back. You're running away from somebody driving a car, okay?
Yeah.
And you're going down a straightaway. This is not. It's like a recurring theme for this episode. Everybody's just doing the dumbest shit
ever.
I mean, he's driving a car, okay? I don't care if your ass had a bicycle, he still caught you.
Yes, motherfucker, stop running.
Because he's driving a car.
Right. You can't outrun a car. You cannot outrun a car, you idiot.
To be fair, there was one person who made one smart move in this episode. And that was when Abraham showed up, he drove up and blocked the door. Like a freaking fire truck.
Also with that fire truck.
That was kind of...
Hey, it's like, I kept that thing too.
When he drove up, did you see that look he gave Eugene? He's like, I feel like throwing Eugene in there with them walkers.
I thought he was going to reach back there and punch him again, just for old time's sake.
Yeah, because he's still alive.
I'm pretty sure Eugene is quite awake. I think he's just faking being passed out still.
It was like, because I was hypothesized, it's like, it was like, what you think maybe is like on the way back, fucking Abraham knocked him out again?
No, that's just it. I think he wants to make sure he doesn't get knocked out again, so he's just trying to stay past.
Like the elbow and like.
It's like, I mean, but it's like, I wouldn't even be able to be mad at Abraham for that. I was like, if it was me, it's like, this motherfucker, I'd have probably stopped every 5 miles to punch him in the face.
Right, same here.
Well,
or break his
It's
leg.
like going along, it's like, oh yeah,
Eugene has earned a new name.
I'm still pissed at you, motherfucker.
Eugene's new name is Face the Pavement. That's what I'm going to refer to him as.
It's called the red face.
Nah, I'm just going to call him the mullet. It's like everyone's kind of getting their own nicknames. You have the mullet. Abraham, of course, is Duke Nukem.
We got dipshit.
Yeah,
Right.
dipshit.
Or got knocked the fuck out.
I was gonna say, yeah, Eugene has been in like all of the episodes since he got knocked out, but he's not been awake for a single second of it.
Because he got Hadouken.
Oh God, that was. Oh God.
That punch is still funny.
Oh, yeah. Until what happened to White Bob, what happened to Eugene was the funniest shit I'd seen in the show.
Yeah, same here.
Because that knockout was fucking hilarious.
It's like,
because it was just good night and bam, face plant.
Yeah, awesome. But they got that sound down good for that punch.
I was like, I mean, you couldn't help but cringe when you saw that scene.
No, the fall was great.
But it's like it was still just funny as shit. I was rolling the whole time. I really was.
Oh man.
And of course, the last bit of business that we had in this episode, my man Morgan returns once again. It's like now I'm actually. Before it's like I really didn't care, but it's like it's interesting that these markings that he's been following has led him to the school and then to the church. It's like who's making these markings?
That's some weird shit. I feel it's like him popping up at the beginning of episode 1 and now this episode is like how much time has really passed by? It's like what? No more than 2 days?
Yeah.
In their timeline? Because it's like what's up with the dude just popping up out of nowhere? Like,
I gotta say, it's like if I were like around in this zombie apocalypse or whatnot, I think I'd be hanging with Morgan because so far it's like he seems like he's been having a pretty chill time.
Right.
It's like everyone else having all these adventures, getting kidnapped and having to threaten people on hostage negotiations and shit. Morgan, man, he's just chilling. You know what I'm saying? He's just strolling about, wearing his sunglasses, looking like a badass, doing what he do. You know, just strolling around. You know,
he's
just chilling.
Really. No one's gonna fuck with him.
Like, I was gonna say, like, if he's following one of the group, if one of the group is making those markings, there's only one person who's been to all of those places, and that's Bob.
That's Father, huh?
Which Bob?
And that's Bob.
Stuckey.
Bob who? Bob Stuckey? That dead motherfucker?
That's just it. Is remember Morgan made it almost all the way to Terminus, and Father Gabriel was nowhere near there. So we have to have someone who's been to all those places, and there's only one person who has, and that's Bob.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
That is
true.
Hey,
we did get a Bob reference. I mean, we got to see how Bob's leg looked after a couple of days on a grill.
Yeah.
He was he did disappear behind a tree when he got taken away.
Yeah.
I believe that marking was on that tree when he was out there crying like a bitch.
I don't know, but it's like we do know this is like about Morgan has found the map that Duke Nukem had left for Rick about going to Washington D.C. and I'm sure he got the surprise of his life when he figured out that he's on the trail of the one and only Rick Grimes.
Right.
But see, now the question is, does he go to Washington or what?
He's gonna follow Rick's trail best he can.
Well, the problem is even for them, it's like I mean, what's going to go on with the original team? It's like do they still go to Washington? Why? I mean, there's nothing there. So it's like, I mean, what's the plan now?
Pretty much hunker down and see what happens.
I mean, it's like they can't go back to the church. I mean, I guess they could if it really meant that much to them, but to clear out all those walkers, it probably wouldn't be worth the time. Might as well just move on.
Father useless.
Yeah,
Father dipshit.
Yeah. Aren't they all gone? Isn't that where Morgan was just now?
Yeah, he was at the church. All the walkers were gone.
Yeah, but they don't know that. Would you come back and check?
Hell no.
No, he was too. He was. I mean, he's laughing with the cross. Then he picks up the paper.
Yeah, the map.
And then I see. We'll see him again in episode 9 next year.
Actually,
like they can choose when to show him.
Right.
Actually,
good.
I was just gonna say, and this is probably me going into speculation territory, but I think more. I'm sorry. What was that?
You can go ahead and edit it. We're about to kick it in a wild speculation anyway. So.
Oh, okay. Well, my speculation is that even though Morgan has only shown up like maybe twice in the first half of the season, I think Morgan is going to be in nearly every episode of the second half. I think he's going to have a much stronger role. I don't know if he's going to be interacting with anybody, but I think we're going to be seeing more of him on his journey catching up to Rick and the group.
I don't know if he's going to find them. Because the note and the map shows them going towards Washington. They're totally back in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's going to run into that field of zombies like the rest did.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Like we said, I don't know if it was last week's episode or the episode before, where I had come up with the speculation that they were going to go to Washington to go find another group, and you guys all shot it down like you usually do. But
Mostly me.
But I don't know. I think Morgan is going to try to go to Washington. He's going to see that field of Waterloo, and I don't know. Maybe he's going to get another clue that'll get him closer to Rick and them. That's what I don't know if that's wishful thinking. It probably is, but I think they're probably going to show the two groups. Morgan and then Rick's group separate from each other, and they won't actually meet up until the season finale.
I want to point something out. Morgan has no reason to believe that Rick is going to Washington. None whatsoever. The note does not say, Rick, see you in Washington. No, the note says, sorry for being an asshole. I hope you end up going to Washington. Which is completely different.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but he has the map as well.
Yeah, he has the map showing the route that Abraham planned on taking to get into Washington, and it's literally the only clue that he has.
Right.
So you have a map pointing out a path to Washington, D.C. You have
that's a map that Rick does not have.
Right.
That's a map that Rick does not have, which means that Rick doesn't know the route. So unless Morgan...
Yeah, but now Abraham's back with them.
Yeah, but
but Morgan doesn't know that.
Unless Morgan goes outside the church.
Exactly, yeah.
What else does Morgan have to go on? Let's see. I have this map that says Washington, D.C. I have a route to Washington, D.C. Yeah, there's no chance that Rick went there.
Right. No chance in hell.
Come on, man. That's not the natural flow of logic, dude.
Right.
It is.
Oh,
that's
logic?
just it. Is in the case it is.
Isaiah, you don't know shit about logic.
You
and
are
then the
following.
question here is,
you are
following clues that Rick does not have. You are following a map that Rick does not have. You know Rick's not going there because Rick doesn't have the map.
Right.
Because the only way that someone could make it anywhere is with the map.
Rick doesn't even have the note.
That's
but
true.
Rick
had the note.
Remember one thing: Rick read the note and he saw the map.
Yeah. Okay. No. But what Matt's point is that Morgan would not know that. I agree with that point.
I agree with that.
Okay.
But Morgan also has nothing to assume otherwise. Why would he assume that Rick hasn't seen it?
If Rick were going to go to Washington, Rick would have taken the map.
That's true.
Well, he comes along as he sees the kind of lockdown that's going on at this church. Probably figures people left in a hurry.
Yeah.
Okay. So
why
what do you assume that he would do at this point, if not go to Washington? Like if you walked to this situation and you found this, and you wanted to get back, you wanted to check on Rick Grimes and get together with that group. You have this map to Washington, and whatnot, but so what do you do? Where's your logic taking you on this?
Is that radio?
No, wait a second, Isaiah.
Okay.
I look for more trees with more markings, like I've been doing forever.
Okay, and since the person that we're currently hypothesizing that left those marks is currently dead, you would not
Morgan
find
doesn't know that. Morgan has no idea.
I'm sure he'd figure it out once he didn't find any more markings.
Yes, but that would take how long?
I'm not asking how long it takes, but it's like, okay, you've gone and tried to find these trees with more markings. You haven't found it any. Now what? What's your plan now? I'm trying to follow your logic to its end.
At that point, that's just it. Is at that point, like if you do decide, you know what, I'm going to go to Washington because I've got nothing else. That's assuming that he's following Rick Grimes, which we don't have any proof that he's following Rick Grimes. We know he's following markings. We don't know he's following Rick Grimes.
True.
Because as far as I could tell, when
I
he
think
saw
he
the
was
note,
actually surprised that he was following
Exactly.
Rick. I don't think he knew that.
exactly.
But now that he
Exactly.
does know that,
The question is this: does he still remember Rick? Remember when he saw Rick before? He didn't remember who he was.
oh,
He'll remember Rick in this. If he's at all sane, he'll remember when he was sane the first time. Even if he doesn't remember the second time, he'll remember the first.
So, a quick. So, does the radio still work? Or is that broken and gone?
What fucking radio? I haven't seen a radio in a minute.
The radio from the first episode. No, that's gone.
Okay.
The radio from season 1 has been long gone.
You never know, man.
Well, we know because we haven't seen it.
Sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure about that.
Deanna, you gotta talk to him about the you never know moment. Matt.
All
right,
So you say you never know about things that we absolutely, positively, 100% know.
You sure about that, huh?
So it doesn't actually mean anything.
You sure?
Okay,
I've already
Isaiah.
answered
I'm
that.
sorry, if I were in the zombie apocalypse and I had any sort of radio, that radio would have to be physically be taken away from me for me to give it up. I don't care how broken it is.
See?
It would have to be taken away from me, and it would have to be stolen.
See? There you go. Even Matt agrees with me. You see what I mean? You see what I mean, folks?
Dude, Rick left the radio back at the barn in season 2.
Hey, I'm just saying, man.
When the barn was burned to the ground, the radio went with it. God damn it! Unless he decides to take a new radio from the police officers in the hospital, there's not a chance in hell we have a fucking radio.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know.
I do know. That's
The
simple.
radio-
The chances of them actually having a radio is infinitesimally small, Isaiah. There is a 0.01% chance that they have a radio and they just have been preserving battery power or some shit. And that's why we haven't seen it. But
What about cop cars? Cop car has radios.
Who has a cop car?
Rick.
He does not. He had one maybe in this episode when he drove down Bob like a dumbass.
Exactly. You see what I mean? The radio's inside the car.
Oh God.
you know
that's
what?
some
What
dumb
other
logic.
vehicles have a radio?
Who?
Fire trucks.
Exactly. You see what I mean? Even Matt agrees with me even more. You see, fire trucks, police cars, they all got radios.
To the fire truck? Nobody knows a fucking thing about the radio in it.
Hey,
I bet
you
Eugene
few
does.
episodes.
I bet you Eugene does.
Yeah,
Yeah, you-
and maybe Abraham will let him be conscious long enough to do something with it.
So you're
'Cause
like,
I could
my
just see
wild
it's like,
speculation.
Go
My
for
wild
it.
speculation is Eugene is actually very, very useful. Somehow he saves everyone in the second half of the second season.
How?
okay, I can see Eugene
I don't know
being
how. Yeah.
to a point, maybe with the radio and other shit, but his theory as far as being a scientist, that shit was just dumb. And how they didn't see it, they were just blinded by we need a cure and we need an answer to be saved.
well, Abraham wanted
It
to
was
believe.
dumb.
We've already covered that. It's like, I mean, obviously it was a story that was full of holes in it, but Abraham wanted to believe because he wanted a reason to keep moving on, which is why when it came up, the lie, it devastated him the way that it did. Yeah, we've already walked that road.
And then he gave him that nice vicious Hadouken punch.
Does anyone else have any wild speculation?
Nope.
Well,
Isaiah, just start talking.
Aside from the speculation that I... What?
What?
Go ahead, Isaiah.
Okay, finally. Isaiah time, folks. I told y'all.
shit.
See, I told you. Matt, Deanna will agree with me about the whole
Get to the
situation.
goddamn speculation!
Hey, don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. Anyways, folks. The group...
Okay, so does anyone else have any speculation? Charles, you're about to say something. No shit.
Okay,
All right,
next
fine.
well,
Fine,
next half of the
Isaiah,
season.
go ahead.
Okay, finally, some real time. Okay, anyways, our group will finally settle on Alexander. Very soon.
Wait, all that massive intro just for that?
Exactly.
Is Alexander a city in,
It's...
in Atlanta?
I can't tell you because I'm going to say it in front of cameras because it's in the comic books and I can't tell you.
Yeah,
Well, I know it's in the comic books.
but I just can't say everything else.
Okay.
I was gonna say I thought Alexander was in like Greece. That's across the ocean.
You never know.
That's across the ocean.
Well, Alexander was a great leader.
See, there you go. Even Lurock agrees with me. See, there you go. You never know. See?
How do I agree with you?
Because that's how you are, man. You think like me, man. That's how you agree with me.
I just said Alexander was a great leader. I never said
Exactly. You see? You see what I mean? Classicness.
Murad, you are now experiencing Isaiah logic. Yeah.
101?
Yeah.
Damn that Isaiah logic. But fortunately, it's like for you all, it's like you won't see any more Isaiah logic for the Walking Dead discussions until next year because we are finally out. Hope you all enjoyed this discussion series. Go ahead and give us a like. Subscribe to youtube.com/geeksaround so you don't miss an episode when we start these things back up in February. I think the show restarts on the 27th, somewhere around there.
February 9th.
February 9th, there we go. So yeah, also don't forget to join the Geeks Around community. The link to that is down in the description for this video. My name is Deanna Jackson. On behalf of everyone else on the panel, we'll see you next year. Bye now.